control of my ship. It was like being pulled toward your planet by an enormous gravitational force.
I'm gonna admit a pretty common truth that no one likes to admit, but it's nonetheless not uncommon, and that is that, you know, sometimes I don't even know why I'm still doing this drone stuff. Like, it doesn't earn you money. You're not going to become super famous. Some people do it for that reason and are successful at it, but it's a tiny minority. And people ask you, hey man, what do you do for a hobby? And you're like, well, I fly drones. They're like, oh really? And then you show them a video, and you're lucky if they'll make it through the first half of the video, let alone anything else, because most people just can't keep up with the whole freestyle thing. And then of course they'll see a Johnny FPV video and their minds will be blown and they'll think it's the coolest thing. It makes you wonder sometimes, what is the friggin' point, man? Like, why do I do it? It's super frustrating. Your drones break, you pour money into it. So why? And a lot of people get burned out on the hobby for that reason. You know, you got the same spots, you fly them again and again, you can kind of plateau in terms of your skills and a whole bunch of other things. And that's why a lot of guys burn out. Even really famous pilots, they burn out. They can't handle it. They just get bored of it, or maybe they just need, maybe it's too intense. Maybe they just got to switch off for a while and reset. But for me personally, I decided a long time ago that I'm just going to do this for fun. I don't want any obligations. I don't want it. I want to fly how I want, when I want, and if I don't want to fly, I won't. And that's that. It's purely for fun. That fun element can easily get lost though in, like, it's so much effort to just do, and yeah, there's not much you can get out of it. So quite often it's easy to lose that sense of purpose and what got you into it originally and all that good stuff. I gotta say though, a pack like the last pack I just flew is the exact reason why I still love this hobby. The entire time I was flying that quad through this spot, I was literally somewhere on the edge of absolute terror, but absolute just focus without even thinking about it. I was kind of partially planning it out, partially not. Part of my mind is absolutely freaking out and saying, no, this is insane. And the other part is like, yes, this is insane, let's do more. And this hobby, unlike any other hobby I've found, lets you tap into that zone, that flow state, as they call it. I really haven't found that anywhere else. And not only is it uniquely exciting and fun, but it's also somehow like refreshing and cleansing on some really weird, deep level that I don't even fully understand. It's like I can take all of my negativity and my aggression and frustration and whatever it is, and I pour it into those sticks in my lap, and somehow it comes out the other side like into something beautiful and incredible and amazing. And yeah, it's just nuts. The first person view experience is crazy. And I was thinking about this because my videos are not the most cinematic, they're not the best edited, I'm not the best freestyle pilot, I'm not a racer. So what the hell am I doing? And the best answer I can come up with is that I'm literally pouring myself into the quad, and that's it. And as far as why I would even bother publishing the videos, to me they're kind of like memories in a way. They're sort of descriptions of how I remember the flight being. And when I rewatch videos after God knows how many years and they pop up in your Facebook feed or whatever, I remember everything I was thinking and feeling and doing at that time, and I can see all the mistakes I was making, and I can see all the stuff I've gotten better at since that last video and all that good stuff. And beyond that, there is a certain level of weird audio visual poetry of sorts, which is really hard to explain, but that's the best I can explain it because I just don't have better words at the moment. If you're getting burned out on the hobby, you know, take a break, man. There's no rule that says you have to fly, you have to do this, and you have to do that. You don't need to do anything. There's no rules. Just do it for yourself. Do what feels fun and right, and stand by that. I see a lot of guys getting into this hobby and they want to get really good at freestyle really fast, and they get all gung-ho and hyped up and stuff, and then, you know, a few months into it they've crashed a few times, they can't quite get something right, and they get frustrated, and the next thing you know, they just don't see them around anymore. And that's a shame, man, because they're missing out on so much. I would say that it's not a hobby that you should just casually wander into. It takes effort, and it takes a certain amount of dedication to get the best out of it, no matter what your interest is. Like, if you're into the cinematography part of it, it takes time to learn how to fly a certain way, get certain shots, how to process your video in a certain way and upload it so that it's high quality and all that good stuff. It takes time. It takes quite a bit of time. You can't just like copy and paste it off the internet. And doing cinematic stuff that's like next level is almost like an art form in a way, because it's partly the piloting, even though there's usually nothing really crazy going on in a cinematic flight, but it's a judgment on the part of the pilot, how they choose their lines, how they frame the subject, and all that good stuff. And then another part of it is the whole editing stuff, like the lighting and the setting and all that good, and how you move through the scenery. It takes time. And likewise on the freestyle side, it takes time. Like, you can learn how to do freestyle really fast these days using simulators. You can nail your rolls, your power flips. You can learn to hover the quad, fly it around, go through buildings, and all that good stuff within probably, you know, weeks or a month or a couple of months on a sim. And then you can hop on your quad in the real world and do most of those moves. But to get it to that level where it's like super juicy and the quad is behaving exactly how you want it to behave, and you're nailing those gaps, and you are absolutely precise and all that good stuff, to get to that ultimate level of just insanity and control in your freestyle also takes a lot of effort. And the only way you can do that is if you put in the time and the stick time in particular, you need a good quad, but you need to put in the time. You will crash a bit as well as you push it, but you know, once you do learn to pull off those things, it's insanely rewarding. And beyond all that, you know, there is just the thrill of the ride. Never gets old. When you have a good pack, you can sit back and you just feel satisfied, just like I feel right now. I feel super satisfied and chilled out in a way that is, there's no way you could replicate it. It just is. A lot of guys also, I see a lot of guys also getting into this hobby for the fame, right? They want to be big on Instagram, they want to get sponsored and all that good stuff. And okay, right? Like, I get it. A lot of people are doing it. Whether you're a pro racer or you're doing reviews, or maybe you just want to be a super awesome pilot, throw down the cool videos and all that, I get it. But again, getting to a really high level of that takes a ton of work. And in fact, when you get into Instagram and YouTube and social media and all that kind of stuff, the hobby at a certain point becomes a business, right? Because to get popular on those platforms, you know, you almost need to imply a digital marketing strategy to it in terms of your posts, what you post, the post frequency, post format, and get into your analytics and everything. You need to build a persona. It's a lot of work. And as soon as money gets into it and sponsorships and all that, it is literally becoming a business. And I think a lot of dudes kind of love the idea of that, but maybe don't get the reality that a business means work. It means that it's no longer purely a hobby for you. It means you have certain obligations and you got to do certain things in a certain way. And guess what? There's competition and rivalries and, you know, drama and all this stuff. And I see a lot of guys trying to ride that trajectory, and yeah, some guys pull it off. I don't know how they do it. Some guys don't. For me, I always wanted to just do this for fun, because there is nothing like that epic pack where you did your best and you think it was cool and you know that you left like absolutely nothing on the table. And you cannot copy that feeling of satisfaction. I love the freedom of being able to fly what I want to fly, where I want to fly, when I want to fly. And if I don't want to fly, I won't fly, and that's it. I do also get frustrated sometimes, or I get burned out, or I get annoyed. I mean, right now I'm super annoyed at my 5-inch builds because, you know, blah blah, like FETEC stuff, firmware issues, yada yada. So my 5 inches are down, and yeah, that's frustrating. There's drama going on here in terms of the regulations and all that, and the amount of spots I have that I can just fly peacefully. But goddamn, man, when you get it right, that feeling is still there. And for me, that feeling has never gone away over the years. And so what I really try and do, and what I would advise anyone does in order to really enjoy the hobby, is like, know why you're doing it and keep true to like what your objective is. If you're doing it for fun, make a conscious effort to make sure it's fun, whether that means you need to try harder or post less or whatever, or even if you have to put down your quad for a while and take a break, you know, that's fine, man. Just keep it fun, keep it real. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Great day flying, crazy spot. I was literally terrified the whole day of this spot. This spot is just bananas. I've flown it before, but with the vegetation layer there at the bottom, there's just no room for error. Never mind all the rebar poking out of all the concrete. So crazy fun though, and absolutely worth it. And that's why I do it. And you know, if no one else understands or appreciates or gives a if no one else cares, I'm totally fine with that, because I almost feel sorry for people who don't have that satisfaction. I would go bananas without a hobby personally, and luckily I found this one and it floats my boat. I don't know how people go through life without hobbies and stuff. Like how many malls can you go to, and Hollywood movies can you watch, and TV can you listen to. That's kind of just noise. It's different than like digging your hands deep into something, doing something creative and earning something. And at the same time, as expensive as this hobby can be, it's not stupid expensive on the level of, you know, like flying airplanes or owning a boat or, you know, whatever. Countless other insane balls hobbies are out there. It kind of hits a sweet spot. I guess the point is, you know, wherever you are in your trajectory, like, that's fine, man. Just own it, you know, keep it real and do what you think is right for you. That's the best way I can put it. And yeah, I'm gonna get out of here now, because even though there's a little bit of light, if I'm honest with myself, there's not enough light where like I could fly this spot and crash and manage to get my quad back before there's zero light, and I'll just lose the quad and get lost in that vegetation forever down there. So I gotta bust a move. So yeah, peace out, guys. Keep it real.